Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of y'all's favorite shows, my favorite shows, our favorite shows, right? This video, we are talking Married to Medicine. This is season 9, episode 6, I believe, Viva Las Vegas. I know I missed last week, y'all. I apologize. It's been busy, but I'm getting on track and getting organized and just got a lot going on, but I'm excited for it and it's a good busy feeling. Anyway, back to our Married to Medicine Mondays as regularly scheduled. I did watch last week's episode. It really wasn't giving that much anyway. The men went to throw axes, the girls went to Vegas, and they was playing Never Have I Ever. So anywho, which is a good old drinking game if y'all ain't played before. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and then comment once you do subscribe. Let me know who you are and where you live and say hello and I'll say hello back. Also, don't forget to share. Okay, so let's get into the video, y'all. It's late. I got to get up early, so I'm going to try to not drag this on too long. Like, it was a good episode. The girls exhausted me with they fussing and fighting. Looks like the ladies are still in Vegas. It's like the first day they arrived. They still playing the drinking game, Never Have I Ever. Dr. Jackie said, never have I ever smoked some weed. I didn't see the girls drink to it. No, all the girls drunk to it except for Dr. Jackie. And Dr. Contessa in her confession was like, Dr. Jackie really had, like, she really had some good stuff. Like, she would be, like, blowing out her mind. She would quit her job. What else did they say? Oh, never ever had sex on the beach. They was like, go on, Toya, we know you're going to drink. Dr. Contessa said her and her husband have had sex on every beach they have been on. Toya said she was in Miami. Quad was shading her in a confessional because Quad was like, Dr. Eugene said he don't like PDA. And they did a flashback scene showing Dr. Eugene talking about how Toya want to do stuff on the balcony and he ain't with it. So Quad was like, well, her sex on the beach excursion was not with Dr. Eugene. And I was like, ooh, girl. So anyway, then I think Anila said never have I ever had anal sex, and then she was trying to drink to it, but then she was like, no, I had too much champagne, I never did it. And then Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone was like, Dr. Simone was like, no, you supposed to, stretch the private front area, not the back, girl. So anyway, I had a good time playing that game, but Dr. Jackie was like, look, it's been fun, but y'all got to run. She's like, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. But she's like, no, y'all go back to y'all rooms, get dressed, get it together. Toya, we see the girls going back to their room. Looks like Toya and Heavenly's room are next door. Heavenly's like, oh, look at your room is next to me. Like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, girl. So anyway, then we see the girls getting dressed, and Quad called her mama. She was like, look like you would pass the pillow and Deacon covers because mom was asleep. It's a big old time difference for Vegas and Atlanta. What is it, 3 hours or 2 hours? So anyway, let's see. Dr. Contessa called Dr. Scott. She said she trying to do this, she had this cotton candy, different color wig. You know what? I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't have been mad at her. In her confessional, she said, sometimes she gets really caught up in that, like, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a mom, I gotta be this way. And she just wanted to free herself, okay? Like Fantasia, free yourself. And so she just wanted, to just have a different look about herself. And I ain't mad at that because I can relate to that. No, I'm not a doctor, but I have 2 professional degrees, and when I was getting my first professional degree, my grandma would always be on me saying I couldn't wear my hair a certain way. Like, if I got too much blonde, it was too much for her. She's like, you're a professional. You got a master's. You got to look like this. You got to be presentable. And what you do, yes. But now that I'm fully done with school, I got my both master's degrees, like, I want to loosen up more. Like, I want to try more things with my hair. Maybe I won't go as extreme to wear some pink hair, and maybe I will. I don't know, but I get what Dr. Contessa was saying. Sometimes we can really lock ourselves in a box of what we think we're supposed to be instead of just, like, enjoying life, right? So, I wasn't mad at her wig. I wasn't mad at her. Yeah, it was outrageous, but I wasn't mad at her. She's in Vegas. Let her live. Shoot. She also had on a shimmery glitter skirt and a little crop top. Oh, what? Go ahead, Dr. Contessa. Go ahead. So anyway, Dr. Scott said, don't get into it with old girl about the YouTube. I was like, oh, no, he didn't. She's like, no, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm going to have a good time. We in Vegas. So then the girls all go down. Everybody's wearing their shimmer glitter pants and outfits. And they go down to dinner. Claude was late. They was getting ready to toast. So she came right on top of that toast. Claude said in her confessional, you know what, it's okay if y'all go ahead and have dinner without me because I'm late. So it's fine, we're even. And I feel the same way. Like, sometimes I be running late. If you get started without me, you got started without me. Like, I'm not going to care, okay? Because I'm probably going to start without you if you hold up my meal. So that's just how it goes. So anyway, the girls did a little toast. And somebody said something to Dr. Contessa about her hair. She's like, yeah, she's trying to have a different alias the weekend. She's trying to be Chanel. She had on a Chanel necklace. Dr. Heavenly was like, in her confessional, she pretty much shaded her. She's like, I'm gonna apologize to her, but Chanel, like, girl, no. So anyway, she's like, this wig she got on. So anyway, the girls are all enjoying themselves. And then somebody brought up money. I think Dr. Jackie had some money on whatever outfit she was wearing, and Claude was asking her about it. And so she's like, did somebody make that for you? Like, she's like, that don't look like something you would wear. I think it was her jacket. She had it on there. And so then they started talking about everyone's doing good at the table. Everyone's good at what they do. They feel that everybody got their money together. They're straight. And so then, what's the new girl's name? Audra. I'm over here like Toya. What's her name? I didn't call her Deidre though, but that was funny. So anyway, Audra was like, is that how you feel? Asking Toya, because you were shading my job the other day. You said I wasn't a good lawyer. And then Toya was like, oh, here we go, girl. And so then she was like, you know, was that how you really feel? Toya was like, I was just joking. No, I was just saying it, you know, the other day. And so Audra was explaining, you know, she's a proud African girl. She's from Ghana. She don't play about her job. She said, African people, you either going to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer. You're going to have your life together. They don't play about that. She said, I became a lawyer. I did that. I was successful. Like, you're not going to play on my career. Quad Center professional, like, you don't play with people's livelihood. Like, yeah, come for their neck when they do that to you, which I kind of agree. So anyway, and then Toya is one because, like, people be getting on her saying she ain't doing nothing with her life at home. Even though she's taking care of the kids. I'm not denying what she's doing as a housewife, but you know, sometimes they can downplay what she's doing, so she shouldn't downplay the other lady being a lawyer, right? But I get Toya, it was a joke. Like, it really was a joke. So anyway, the girl was like, so do we have an understanding? Like, are we clear? Like, can you use critical thinking skills? I was like, oh, yikes, Audra. Like, you came to be on the show. Audra, I just realized I just trying to get her spot on the show. That's all it is, okay? Anywho, they need new girls, I guess. So then the girls was all getting their food. Contessa off her diet, ordering scallops and stuff. Somebody had a ribeye. That was looking good. Then Dr. Jackie pulled out a whip. She said it was a little precursor for what they got going on for the night. They was like, did you bring that from home, Dr. Jackie? Like, girl, what you got going on? So then after the dinner, they went to this like really, really big, fancy like sex store. I've never seen that store in Vegas. I'm not sure what where that was or what hotel that was, but I want to know. Side note, y'all, I go to Vegas all the time, like pretty much once a year, sometimes twice a year. Okay, I might like skip 1 year every now and then, but I go to Vegas like second home to me. So I love me some Vegas. So I definitely was like looking to see where they were. So anyway, they go to the store, they looking around at the toys, and you know, Dr. Jackie, she's like, oh yeah, I got this, I know what this is. And her and Dr. Heavenly was looking at some lingerie and stuff, and Dr. Heavenly was trying to pick out something all conservative for Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie put out some that had only straps. Like, she was like, nah, I more want this. And Dr. Heavenly was like, she's trying to show so much of her V and all that. She tried to show it all off, and she was like, Dr. Jackie real into her sexuality lately. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she, you know, y'all talking about my channel, I wouldn't be surprised if she had a sex channel like on Pornhub or something. So then they put Jackie up. That was hilarious. And you know what, Dr. Jackie, that could be a little side hustle for you, girl. So anyway, then they went into like another room. Oh, Neela and Audra was looking at some kind of sex pillow. I was like, how do that work? So then they went to like where the people were doing demonstrations for them and all that. And Toya was like, let me tell you, these girls love sex toys. And they did flashbacks of showing the girls doing different sex parties and sex toys and sex shops. I noticed they show a lot of flashbacks this season. Maybe because the show's been on for so long now, though. So anywho, Toya said that she loved her shower massager, and she's like, you got anything that compares to that? Anila says she loved a good old shower massage too, and they showed her shower got a whole bunch of different shower heads in her shower. I was like, darn, you gonna get that water from every angle. I've never seen that. And so she was like, oh yes, they can't, both of them said they can't live without them shower heads. I said, oh, they be taking long showers. Notice they're not the doctors either. Anywho, no shade though. I mean, we can't all be able, right? So Toya wanted to see something that was comparable to the shower heads of the lady presented her with some kind of air suction. I forgot what they called it. But anyway, Toya said it was good. It was good. So then the gay were talking about sex toys. Dr. Jackie said a menage a trois don't always have to be another person. It could be a toy. The lady was telling them about, like, you know, bring the toy in, like, because Dr. Jackie told Quad, don't be just using your toy, because then a man ain't gonna know how to hit the spots like you know how to make your toy hit your spots. Okay? So, the lady was like, yeah, if the man likes a toy too, like, you know, bring in a toy with y'all stuff and make it do what it do. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, the girls was enjoying all the products, and then the guy was talking about tantra orgasm, I guess, like holding on to it for like a few days and then you have it. And then Toya's like, and she in her confessional talking about orgasms. And then Dr. Heavenly was like, well, I want to wait 3 days. And then she's like, when I could have got 4 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so then the next morning, the girls wake up, they go in each other's room, getting breakfast, getting themselves together. They was really getting a little snack because they was going to brunch. So anyway, Audra went in Anila's room, and he was like, girl, my room is a mess. Everything is everywhere. And it sure was. Anila, like, girl, like, why is your stuff spread out? Like, how long is y'all going to be in Vegas? Jesus. She ain't moved in that hotel room. Then we saw Dr. Simone and Toya, and I think Carrie maybe in a room together. And Toya, they was asking about the previous night, and Toya said, what's the girl's name? Is it Deidre? And then Dr. Simone was like, Audra? And she's like, you call that girl Deidre? And so then Dr. Simone was like, look, like, if you want to move forward with the girl, you know, you want to build a relationship with her, do that. But if you don't, then call the girl Deidre today. Like, you know what I mean? Basically, Dr. Simone was telling her, like, if you're going to make jokes like that, you can't control how somebody takes it. So that's what it was. And so she was also saying, like, you know, that's the same thing like Dr. Heavenly would do. Like, so it's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? So anyway, then the girls go down to the brunch at the hotel. It's like a Mexican brunch. Toya trying to figure out how to get bacon. The lady's like, we don't have bacon. She eventually said, okay, we can get you a side of bacon, girl. But I'm like, Toya, where you want her to come with this bacon at the Mexican restaurant? Like, it's not going to happen. So anyway, the lady said they got white and red sangrias all the way around. Did she say sangria slushies or just sangria? Either way, I'll take one. So then they did a little toast. Dr. Heavenly said, toast to new beginnings. And then Dr. Heavenly started talking about Simone's book. Did y'all know Dr. Simone was writing a book? So Dr. Simone explained why her and Cecil writing a book. And she said that was one of the toughest moments of her life, getting through that marriage. And she was talking about, like, you know, how all her friends would call her, and she didn't always want to take the advice. She would sometimes buck up against them. And she said in her confessional, like, Dr. Heavenly was one of the people who really held her down when she was going through it. And they showed some flashback scenes about that. And Dr. Heavenly would tell her, like, you know, if he's mean to you, just be nicer. You got to uplift the man because he has so much on him on this an outside world, which I understand. And that's kind of what we're taught in the Black community, right? It's just that some black men take things too far. I'm not saying all black men. There are very nice, loving, caring black men out there, of course. But it's like, how much are we expected as women to put up with is what I'm wondering. But I get what Dr. Heavenly is saying. Like, I agree with her as well. And so Dr. Simone said, you know, me and Dr. Heavenly, we have fundamentally different views on marriage. And so Dr. Heavenly believes, like, you should just like kind of be quiet, don't be nagging your man like that. And Dr. Simone doesn't always agree with that. And so Dr. Jackie was explaining, like, sometimes when you arguing and, you know, you getting heated and you going back and forth with a crazy person, then you crazy, and then both of y'all look crazy. Dr. Jackie said her confession, the best time to bring up a situation is after sex. She was like, just, you know, rub the nipple a little bit and then check in with them. I was like, oh, that's good advice, Dr. Jackie. She's like, you get what you want. I said, I know that's right, Dr. Jackie. I'm going to use that. She basically said using what you got to get what you want. She just said in a professional way, y'all. Did y'all catch it? So anyway, then Dr. Heavenly was saying, like, you know, she was trying to talk about her marriage, and then Dr. Contessa was saying, like, yeah, you can get different advice from different people, but, like, that gets to be too much, and you don't want to, like, you know, you get confused trying to take in what this person said, like, it's too much. And so then Dr. Heavenly's like, oh yeah, that's something I'm never guilty of. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me to leave my man. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I don't care what you saying. Like, I'm not gonna she gonna stick beside him, basically. She ain't leaving her man. You can say he's been cheating and everything, she ain't leaving him. That's not what she said, but that's what she's basically saying, okay? So then Dr. Simone was like, well, do you see how Dr. Contessa is mad because you are over here saying all this stuff about her husband that may not be true, and then co-signing the issue. And Dr. Heavenly's like, oh, girl, like, I ain't lied. Like, get the story straight. Dr. Heavenly's like, no, everything I said, she said it. So then they showed the flashbacks, which I think is pretty much true. I don't think Dr. Heavenly made up any new information, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Dr. Simone was talking from her own experience with Dr. Heavenly. I think that was the experience. I don't know. Anyway, because I remember Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly had their drama too, and I can't remember everything that went down between them now. So anyway, Dr. Jackie in her confession was like, Simone, girl, like, why you bring this up? Like, this is not for the kingdom of the glory of God. So then Dr. Simone was like, well, do you see how, like, repeating anything your friends say and the way you're doing is hurting your friend? And then I think Toya was trying to get on Dr. Heavenly as well, and then Dr. Heavenly was getting all mad. She's like, I'm not about to be telling y'all nothing about my marriage, because everybody gonna talk about my marriage anyway, and I'm gonna just continue to say my marriage is perfect, and that's what it is. And I was like, oh, girl, perfect? And then Dr. Contessa was like, I didn't really want to pop off on her, but she was pushing me. So the next thing we know, Dr. Contessa was shouting, where's her? And then Dr. Heavenly was shouting. And then next thing we know, Dr. Contessa popped up out her seat. Now, when Dr. Contessa gets mad enough to get out of her seat, this is always when the show goes left. Like, Dr. Contessa be like a raging bull, and Dr. Heavenly's raging bull, and it just don't work. It just don't work, okay? Dr. Contessa, like, she gonna whip ass, okay? She got up, and she and Dr. Heavenly's face, and they each other. They weren't even that close. Like, this whole drama with them almost was like just a storyline beef, really. Like, they just trying to create some drama of the show, because that's what it's giving for me. I think them girls are gonna be just fine. So then Quad jumped up and got in the middle. They wasn't even that close to each other. And then she tried to hold Contessa back and hold Heavenly back. And then Neela and Audra had Dr. Heavenly and Neela. And then they're like, well, we just not gonna F with you. They tell each other, like, I'm not gonna F with you, because Dr. Heavenly was trying to say, you not mad at me, you mad at your husband. And then Dr. Contessa was like, what? Like, mad at you, mad at my husband. And then she was like, you don't have a story right. Like, you crazy if that's what you think. Like, and then she said Dr. Heavenly be trying to deflect, and she not here for all that. And then they talking about how they ain't on F with each other no more. And then he's like, no, Heavenly, like, you love Contessa, stop it. So Dr. Heavenly and Audra, also known as Deidre, walked Dr. Heavenly out, and they was like, we're gonna go to my room, girl. We're gonna have some drinks. Like, we're gonna relax. Dr. Contessa, she was just pissed. She was going off. The cop was like, girl, you need some water. People in the restaurant was trying to film it. Toya still sitting there eating her bacon. She ain't missed a beat with that bacon. I was like, I know that's right, Toya. Carrie was still sitting there eating her breakfast, not bothered. So anyway, then, you know, Dr. Contessa, she was over it. So then Dr. Jackie was like, she already knew it was about to be an explosion, an inferno. Dr. Contessa was like, girl, can we pray? So then Dr. Jackie led them in prayer. She was like, God, you're not a God of confusion. He sure is not. Quad also followed up and said, calm Dr. Contessa's spirit right now, Lord. And so then Carrie was eating the whole time during the prayer. I said, oh, she don't go to church, do she? I'm just kidding. So anyway, Dr. Contessa was happy to have that prayer. They hugged it out. Toya was still enjoying her bacon, but she said, sometimes things are on the surface of this group and they don't deal with it. And so then once they had that explosion, things seem to get better. Like they need to have that moment. They flashed back to her and Quad having their little explosions, and then they hugged it out. And then they was like, oh, girl, that bacon that made you profound. And Dr. Contessa was like, oh, thank God for that bacon. That bacon is doing something. And so then, mind you, Toya had also asked for bacon at the restaurant the night before. I said, she just be wanting some bacon. Dr. Jackie was making fun of her. It's like, oh, the stock market can't go on without her getting some bacon. Like, she desperate for bacon. So anyway, then the girls left because, it's Dr. Simone's day to plan. So she's like, we about to turn up. So they got in she had running one of them pink limo Hummers that they got in Vegas. Okay, I think, no, I rode the party bus in Vegas, not one of those. I was going to say I rode in one, but I didn't. So anyway, Dr. Simone was like, we about to go to Fremont Street, about to turn up, but like, I don't want it to be bad energy, and I don't want to split the group up because that makes it worse. So let me call Dr. Heavenly. She called Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly didn't answer. I knew she wasn't. Then she's like, Dr. Jackie, get her on the line. She didn't answer my call. But then Dr. Heavenly called Dr. Simone back. She was like, you gonna come be back with the group? The girls came. It was no issue. They went to do ziplining on Fremont Street. Toya was scared to do it. I would have been scared too. I probably wouldn't have done it. I've already backed out from ziplining a time or two, so I don't know if I would have done it that time. It looks fun though, and I do want to try to work on facing my fears of heights by maybe doing ziplining one time. I've done ziplining in a bicycle, and I was encaged in it. That's as far as I've went with ziplining, and I faced a little bit of fear there, but I don't know, like the way they was doing it, I don't know. I don't know about that one. So anyway, Toya was like, I need to get my mind together, but she did it. All the girls did it. She's like, all the stuff to do in Vegas, this is what we doing. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm not flying in the air in Vegas when I could be drinking. I could be eating down to the buffet. I could be having some crab legs. I could be gambling. I could be in the club. I could be dancing. I could be at the pool party, like shopping. Like, girl, why am I ziplining? Why? So anyway, just catching a show. So, also an episode, before I forget, they did show the men in Atlanta. All the ones with like younger kids. So they showed Anila's husband, Dr. Karen, with the kids making pizza. And he was like, you know what? Making their dinner and gave them a project. Best thing to do. And he was like, kept them off the iPads. I was like, Anila need to take lessons from her husband, because he did the right thing. Always do a little project with your kids. That's a good time filler. They doing the work. They learning. It's amazing. Project-based learning is the way to go. Eugene was outside with the kids, watching them swim, take pictures. He said he glad Toya gone because she be too loud at the house. He be dealing with his Dr. Harris all day at work. And Eugene at home, he tired of it, okay? We see Dr. Scott out with the kids. Oh, my God, their kids are getting so big. And that oldest one, Lauren, looks dead on Dr. Contessa. She looked dead on her. And so Dr. Scott was getting on her about wearing the makeup. She's only wearing eyeliner. And the brother was teasing. And he was like, yeah, like, she need to wait till she's 16. I'm more traditional. And looked like they were about to do an activity as well. We saw Dr. Damon driving Laura. Laura was driving. He's giving her driving lessons. And he's like, where you going to go the first day? You're out with your car. And she said she's going to go to a concert and come home at 2 in the morning. He like, yeah, she playing. Dr. Heavenly in her confessional said that Laura is a daddy's girl, and she got the dad wrapped around her finger, and she can get anything she wants from the dad. I was like, she just like Dr. Heavenly, really. It's kind of funny, though. I like all the kids and all that on the show, and seeing the moms with the kids. Anyway, that was pretty much the end of the episode. The girls zip line. It brought them back together, like Dr. Simone said. All the girls did the zip lining, look like. Looks like later on the girls are going to dinner, and they going to Black Magic Live. Love me some Black Magic Live, y'all. I've seen it one time before in Vegas, so yeah, looks like next week is probably going to be good. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. I wanted to get back on track with my Married to Medicine Monday, so we back, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.